Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Abe with MysticGenMara.com, a small town mystic from the middle of Idaho. And tonight, whenever you happen to be seeing this, I would like to offer your elemental rune reading for the week of July 13th through the 19th of 2025. These messages are timeless, so take what works for you, leave the rest for someone else. And because we do general readings here, if you catch this at a later time, there's always going to be something there for you. So with that, if you've never had your chart read, there is a link in the description. You can check that out. And there's also a video down there as to why I read for the elements versus the zodiac. So with that, we will get started here. We will start off with the elemental energy of fire. And fire covers the zodiac signs of Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So fire, we are starting you guys off, all of the salamanders out there, with the Jira rune, which is the rune of the year. Color is light blue. Tarot association is the Fool, and astrology is Earth. So this is a very stable energy that's coming in for our fire family. It's the cycles of nature and life, something that's coming to fruition, an effort that receives reward. So what I'm getting with this for our fire family this week is this is a week where you actually get some things going, you get some things started. You're able to do that because something else has come to conclusion, to fruition, so it's actually going to be able to fund what's moving forward, so that you've got a really positive vibe going on right here, where there are some things moving along, and it's actually setting you up for a good deal of success. Where your second rune, which is the Isa rune, which is the rune of ice, colors black, tarot association is the Hermit, and astrology is the Moon. And so this is getting into some subconscious energy and also a little bit of stepping back. It says it denotes some kind of an obstacle, coldness between people, a time to observe, keeping silent, refraining from comment. So fire, this almost feels like there are two different energies at play here. You definitely are heading in the right direction. You've got these things lining up, and that's setting you up for success. But remember, the Fool is the what do I want to call him? The naive idiot that's starting off on a path. So you're not sure where you're headed with this. That's where the Isa is coming in. You don't have to announce what your plans are. And it's actually better if you don't at this particular moment in time. This is a time for you to stay silent, step back from the situation so you can focus on what's important here, which is this new project you're working on. But also take a broad picture of what's going on, because Isa generally shows up, that I've seen anyway in my readings, when there's something going on behind the scenes that, because you're so close to a situation, you're not seeing the other side of it. And that's what they're bringing up right now, is this is a good time to just kind of step back. You don't have to pull back and like, oh, I'm not doing anything, but just step back from announcing your moves. You are in a really good spot for some movement to occur, and you're actually noticing you've completed a set of projects, which is opening up other doors going forward. But the Isa is just saying, this is where, if you go by the old axioms, to know to be silent, I can't remember what they all are right now, but be silent is where you're at. You have everything else lined up. Now it's time to be silent. So this is where you keep doing the things and working on the projects, but don't announce it. And they're actually saying step back and observe the broader picture, because there's something at play that you are not fully aware of just yet. But if you look at it from the observer, which is beyond where you're at, with no emotion and no expectation, there we go, it's going to allow you to see much more clearly what's going on. So I do not understand why the runes do this to me. Every time I read with them, it makes me a little bit more prone to yawning than I should. Anyway, so Earth covers the zodiac signs of Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. So Earth, we are starting off with the Inga's rune here, which is a rune of fertility. Color is yellow, tarot association is judgment, and astrology is new moon, so you're getting some new beginning energy here too. Completion of an idea or project, a new beginning, a time of positive energy, good fortune. So this is saying that the sun is shining on you right now, Earth, and this is actually saying this is a good time to weigh something in the balance. What's going on? There's something new coming in. Is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? Is this a neutral thing? Where does it fit into your life, and how are you going to play it out? Because when we have judgment, it's not about, this is a bad thing, I am going to judge it harshly. The judgment concept really is about scales. How does this play into your life? Where does it fit? Is this good? Is this bad? Is this a waste of time? Is this a profitable thing to be working on? Is this something that's going to help my spirituality or my financial state, or both? Whatever it is, this week is a good time to really get into that mode of what's going on here. You've completed some stuff, which is actually a good thing, and that's opened some doors. Now it's time to weigh it in the balance and see which door is the best option for you. Let's see what your second rune is and maybe get a little direction on what your options are. We are looking at the Thurazaz rune, which is the god of strength. Color is bright red, tarot association is the Emperor, and your astrology is Mars. This is a protection, someone providing help, good news coming in. This is saying, Earth, that this is going to be a divine masculine energy that is coming forward to support or to direct, depending on how you come across with that. And when we look at divine masculine in this way, the fertility is saying there is a creative aspect going on here, but you need the projective force from the divine masculine to seed this project. So you're getting into this energy where something is coming to, the door is opening very positively. The Emperor is all about good luck, but it's also a forward motion. This is not staying in the place where you're at, Earth. This is saying it is time to get moving. So you've got a really positive energy build up here, and what I'm getting, this is not something that is going to be a stationary project. This may require some physical movement, whether it's going to the gym, going for a hike, or maybe moving up a floor in the business world. But it also could be something to do with your success hinges on a physical move, as in like moving houses. So there's a lot of energy going on here with a projective energy saying things have to be moving now. This is not really an option for Earth to sit back and be like, I'll get to it here in a second. No, this is the time of fertility. This is the time of the energy, and you've got Mars and the Emperor coming in saying it's time to make some motion now. So again, general readings, so take what works, but there's this positive energy, Earth, but it is very much I won't say aggressive, but intensive. Like, it's time to go, it's time to make those intentions, it's time to take that action. So you're heading in the right direction, and there's definitely going to be some positive influences that are showing you what would be the best option. I'm hearing, Earth, if you have people around you that are fire, pay attention to what they're saying. Not so much what they're saying directly to you as an advice, but what they're saying just in conversation. There's something from the fire that's going to be popping up for you. So, before we hop into air here, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and comment. Let me know your thoughts, feelings, and impressions. If you have a different vibe coming off the runes, please let me know in the comments if you're comfortable. It's always interesting to hear how other people respond to the different forms of divination, because it's amazing the different styles when you really get into it, and then you start hearing each person's perspective. It's actually pretty cool. So with that, hop over here to air. Air covers Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. In our air family, we are starting you guys and gals off with, if I don't drop my little book here, the Degas rune, which is the rune of the day. Color is light blue. Tarot association is temperance. Astrology is the dark moon. Awakening, clarity, success, prosperity, and abundance in life in general. So air, you also are getting this. Things are coming to fruition, but for you, this is a spontaneous award. This is not something that you they're kind of laughing, being like, oh, air, you are not expecting this. It's actually going to be pretty cool when it pops up. And it may not be financial exclusively, but it's something that's saying what you've been working on is actually coming to fruition. Oh, that's a cool. Someone is about to find out something about being a parent, so that could be really playing into this too. So you've got these positive connections coming in right now, air, and it's saying this is a time for you to kind of revel in it. Celebrate when this happens, whatever the surprise is going to be. Celebrate it, because this is something that you've been working towards, but you weren't sure if it was ever going to happen, if it was ever going to fall into place. The universe is saying it will. It may not be exactly how you thought it was, but it's going to come in a way that surprises you, but it's still going to be a happy feeling. So your second rune is the Iawaz rune, which is the yew tree. Color is dark blue. Tarot association is the Hanged Man, and astrology is Scorpio. So you're bringing in some fire and water energy here. Protection, a time of death and rebirth, foresight, and perseverance. So what I'm getting is these two, they're wanting, these two energies are working really in tandem. Surprise, success, things working out the way they're supposed to. You're protected while you're re-examining the life that has come forth. Whatever is coming in to surprise you is going to shift things for you. And that is going to unfortunately, force a Hanged Man moment where you have to reevaluate. You have to look at things from a different perspective. This is one of those times where the energy of karma, the energy of the universe is saying, you've lined everything up and now the ball is rolling, you can't stop it. Which could be terrifying, but what I'm getting for air is this is something that you've been, like I said, working towards. So yes, it's going to be like, oh no, I'm out of control. You're not, because you put things in motion, you put them into the vortex, as Abraham Hicks says, and your soul is now running with this, and your conscious mind, the part where it's like, I'm not in control, you know, that ego that gets in the way, it is now feeling lost. Like, wait, I'm not the one in saying this anymore. Just as a FYI, the ego rarely has a lot to say once you put your foot on a spiritual path. It will rise up, it will challenge you, but in this situation, it's going to be one of those things where now you can see how your soul versus you versus your ego versus your shadow are all separate things. And that's something that's going to make you kind of giggle as you go through this week, is you're going to realize that, oh, so that's what that means when they say the ego doesn't like change, or the ego doesn't like to be the one and doesn't like to be out of control. Because guess what? The ego doesn't get to be in control in this. Your soul has put things in motion. Your consciousness has put things in motion. And now the universe is running with this alignment because you have done the work, air, and it's now time to enjoy the fruits of your labor. So let's hop over to water, all of our fishies, which is Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. And we are starting off with, I always feel like this one looks like a shepherd's crook, and I don't think that's actually its meaning, which is this guy here. It is Laguz, which is the rune of water. Color is deep green, dark green, whatever. Tarot association is the star. Astrology is the moon. So water, this is really your time. Your energy is going to be peaking this week, which I believe we're just coming off of a full moon, so that's probably part of that. The tides are up. Unconscious, intuition, mystery, psychic awareness, hidden sources of creativity. Water. What is it that you've been dreaming about in the last couple of weeks? What's been coming up the most? Whether it's in a daydream, when you're doodling and you're, supposed to be sitting in that meeting and your brain wanders off, or when you're laying in bed at night and you jerk awake because you had an image. What is it? You don't have to comment. This is for you to answer the question. What is it you're seeing? Because whatever this is coming up, it's saying this is a direction. This is an inspiration. This is opening a door to your creativity, but also tying your creative energies into your spiritual, so that as you're creating, you are bringing in God Source Divine, and that's allowing you, water, to share this energy with others. This week, I haven't pulled the second rune yet. This week is a time for water to really embrace what it is they're doing. That way they can, over time, radiate that energy out, and it's going to inspire others. This is a week where some things are getting started for our water family, and it's definitely pay attention to your dreams, what you've been dreaming, what you're currently dreaming, and where you're headed. The doodles, the daydreams, even, you wake up almost in cold sweat, but you can't remember the dream. Those right now I'm hearing are going to be indicators of where things are moving if you're paying attention. Again, we're all going to be paying attention to something different, but this is something that they're bringing up. So, your second rune is the Perth rune, which is a rune of fate. Okay. Color is black, tarot association is Wheel of Fortune, and astrology is Saturn. So this could be a little bit of an interesting take here. Mystery, chance, unexpected material gains and surprises, hidden things coming to light. What was the first rune? Pay attention to your daydreams. Pay attention to things coming to you, revealing themselves to you, because you are in a position where there's going to be a revelation this week. Something is going to be woken up. It's going to be directed. There is going to be this energy of it's time for you to make change. It is time, water, to move. The wheel is turning. Saturn is actually not being grumpy, because usually Saturn is, that grumpy old man that sits on the porch. Get off my lawn! That's how I usually see Saturn. But what I'm hearing this week is actually Saturn is coming in as the wise guardian, the wise guide, saying, listen, I see where you're headed. I see what's going on. I'm getting in touch with you because it's time for these changes to take place. It is time for this energy to shift. So, water, you may have a little bit of a stern father figure energy coming in this week, but this is where it's not negative. It's coming in, it's being a little stern and forceful, because let's be serious here, just for a second. Water, I don't care if you're Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, you can be a little bit, especially on your, the negative side of the energy, you want to escape. You want to be kind of like the hippy dippy, go with the flow type person where everything's rainbows and butterflies and unicorn farts. And Saturn is coming in being like, listen, you have been putting energy towards some big changes, some big shifts. This week they're going to reveal themselves, at least the next steps are. Pay attention, because this is not something that you're going to be able to just, I can check back with this. Not when Saturn comes into play. And you've got the fate energies coming in, meaning this is something that is necessary to move forward. You can stay stuck if you want. That's the energy that's coming up. But this is an opportunity for you to move forward this week. Again, there's going to be other movements. There's always going to be some shifting going on. But this week, they're wanting you to be really paying attention, because there are some opportunities coming up for water that are kind of once in a lifetime, or at least once in the next couple of years, options for you to grow and change. So hopefully these messages are resonating for you. And let's take a quick all elements. This week is a time of shifting. This week is a time of growth. It is a time where the true concept, in my opinion, of magic is coming forth. Change in accordance to will. Elemental energies, step forward in your authority, step forward in your power. This is a week where you get to embrace the unique characteristics that combine you. However earth, air, fire, and water play out in your existence, your dominant energy is going to be the kind of the control panel. Everything else is what you're putting in after. But this week, they're wanting you to understand, coming to an understanding of yourself is allowing you to project outwards. It is allowing you to grow and shift, whether that is through judgment, where you have to figure out which is the best option, or it's the force of the hanged man saying, you need to look at things from a different perspective. This week is an energy week of really powerful changes. They're saying that this is a planetary shift that is occurring. Gaia herself is shifting and changing. And if you have been paying attention to any of the weather news, that is not a new thing. But there's a lot of positive energy that she is saying, come with me as we grow. It is time for humanity to shift. And that's the energy that's coming up for our elementals this week. So with that, I will let you guys go. Have a great rest of your week. Again, like, comment, subscribe. subscribe. Let me know your thoughts as you move through this week, and I will see you in the next video.